Male depression gets treated like female depression. Men are made to feel loved and accepted when all they want to do is feel capable and powerful. He used this example of the Blitz in World War II. Before the war started, there were these psychiatric wards and they had patients in. These patients had been catatonic for years, totally comatose, unresponsive. Then the Blitz starts. So there were fires and there were injuries all over London and there were ambulances and fire engines and there was no one to drive them. These men who had been catatonic for 5 years and a decade got up, put their shoes on and started driving fire engines and ambulances. These men that had been unresponsive for years and years and years. Give a man a purpose and the ability to achieve it and he will crawl over broken glass with a smile.
How true it is. Give a man a purpose, especially a life-saving purpose, and what you have given is a fulfillment and one happy man.
Are you depressed or do you just have a horrible life? And those are not the same question. If you're depressed, you have a life that in principle should work, but isn't. I've got a good job, I've got a good family, my wife loves me, but man, I'm miserable all the time. It's like, okay, well, let's delve into that a bit more deeply, but that kind of sounds like depression. But then you might come and say, well, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I don't even want to be alive. And you can walk through someone's life and you can find out if they're reasonably embedded in a hierarchy of social institutions. And if the answer is no, no intimate partner, no family, no children, no friends, no job, no career, no educational pathway, no engagement in civic responsibility, no church attendance, no spiritual life, no routine. Well, you're not depressed, you just have a horrible life.
We're focused on what we need rather than what we're needed for.
Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. And so it looks like this ocean that you're going to step into and drown. But as soon as you step into it, you realize it was not that deep at all, and you can keep walking through it. And I just love that visual, because a lot of times when it's like we have this anxiety around this big decision we have to make, if you actually take the step and realize that it's not death, you're not going to drown immediately. There's plenty of other steps you can take from there, even if you get a little wet.
Very true. But what happens if the water is indeed very deep? How do you get through? Well, if you know that you have a divine mission on the other side of the sea that you need to reach to, then who knows? Because of that true belief of where you're going, you'll get through and the sea will split for you. After all, it has happened in the past. When the Jews had to go to receive the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai, they had a sea in front of them, and the sea split so they could fulfill their divine mission. We all have a divine mission, and the sea will split for us to fulfill it.
If you love someone, if it's genuine love, you see their hidden soul. That's a good way of thinking about it. You get a glimpse of the light that they could reveal to the world if they revealed it. That's what you see. And then to act in love is to encourage that to come forward and to discourage anything that gets in its way.
That's why I love the Michelangelo effect I'd heard of, and I'd been using it.
Okay, so why the Michelangelo effect?
This is why. Michelangelo sees this huge, massive, unhewn block of marble.
I see.
And inside of that, he is able to see David. And over time, slowly, he will chip away and he will chip away and he will chip away. So you see something that isn't there that's inside of the thing, which is rough and unhewn and uncivilized and undomesticated and rambunctious and sometimes terrible. And you were able to, from that,
that's actually part of the Tao Te Ching, the uncarved block. And you remove everything that's excess until what's perfect remains.
Exactly how God commands Moses to make the candelabra, the menorah for the sanctuary of God. Hewn, carved from one block of gold is a 7-branch candelabra representing 7 different types of souls, each to illuminate the world and change it for good. Yes, see the light in every soul and everyone, and that they're hewn from the same divine place.